and let me know about your expectations from today's program. Are you allowed to unmute yourself?
I think yes, they are.
Okay, so those who are comfortable can unmute themselves, and those who are not, they can give their expectations from today's program in the comments in the chat section. And before anyone starts talking, please, I would request everyone to change their names, their display names to their actual name and followed by their college name. Right. So please, what do you expect from today's program? Are you excited to meet Mr. Avelo Roy, to to take knowledge from him, have his experience and wisdom? Yes, guys, anyone? Okay. So yeah, I'll give a proper introduction to him as well. Meanwhile, you can actually Google him. And since we are all like Indians, all must be aware of Sarojini Naidu, right? Is anyone aware of her? Guys, be a little bit interactive. The session is very important to us, and we are hoping that the young members of the young students also get benefited from them. So just a fun fact that is not part of my actual introduction for Mr. Avelo Roy. He is the grandson of Miss Sarojini Naidu. He has inherited he has a great inheritance as well, and he has done some marvelous things in his lifetime. I'm going to discuss of that. You will be pretty amazed. I'm pretty sure about that. So, like, what are your expectations? You register for this program, and you are right now attending it. What do you expect from today's program? Yes, guys. Anyone wants to share?
Hello, sir. I'm Nitin from Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, my expectation is how successful people think, what is their mindset regarding how they follow their routine.
Okay, that's very wonderful of you. So Yatin wants to know that how successful people think, and the great way to know that is actually learn from, actually like hear from them about themselves. And like the man of the hour is here with us. I like to welcome Mr. Valeroy. He's between us, and he's been with Team Chaitanya for past many years. We are so great, thankful that
हाँ
you are present here.
हाँ
So
तो वो
now,
टीवी टूवी तो है नहीं इसका मतलब.
yeah. So without any delay, I would like to give the stage to Mr. Valeroy. And before that, just allow me to give a short introduction, because although he doesn't need any kind of introduction, and I cannot summarize his achievements in few minutes, but allow me to just, it's a humble request of me to allow me to introduce him. So Mr. Valeroy is currently serving as the MD of Kolkata Ventures. It's one of the largest startup incubators in Eastern India. He is the director of ECC Engineering. He is a former startup advisor to the Prime Minister of Nepal. And apart from that, he has been engaged in 500 plus speaking engagements, including he's been part of panels in White House, in Rashtrapati Bhavan, as well as he has speaking engagements in TEDx and Josh Talks. As if this was not enough, he's been a receiver of 150 plus awards from India, USA, Canada, and China. He's a serial tech entrepreneur, and at your age, the main audience, he started his own startup by his own patent, and by the time you'll graduate from your institutes, he has built a multi-million-dollar evaluated startup in the US. Apart from that, his special managerial style is all inspired by Bhagavad Gita, and he has been engaged in inspiring youth from past many years and inspired thousands of youths. And Team Chaitanya is very honored to welcome Mr. Avelo Roy between us. Please, sir, bestow us with your wisdom. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Shubham, for that very kind introduction. Am I audible and visible?
Yeah, you are, sir.
Okay, I'll share my screen and get started. So as Shubham very kindly introduced, I started my entrepreneurial journey while in college, studying at the Illinois Institute of Technology. This is from 2007, where the CEO National Conference was happening in Chicago. I was the youngest entrepreneur with CEOs like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, being there, and I had the opportunity to be one of them. My journey started from there. We built a team of college students together, and won many business plan competitions, including the Entrepreneur Idol, which is like Indian Idol for music. So Entrepreneur Idol in US is for entrepreneurs. Got mentored by some of the best and the brightest entrepreneurs. Here at the bottom, you can see at that time, the CEOs of Motorola and Nokia, who were mentoring us. And we won at MIT, we won competitions in US and Canada, everywhere. And eventually, from student team, we grew to a team of professionals, right? We were able to get people who are, who we couldn't afford to hire, to quit their jobs, to come on board and build our business together based on a shared vision, a shared dream together. Together, we built these businesses in US, Canada, Hong Kong, and eventually in India. Kolkata Ventures being my first company in India, and then there's been others. I've been honored by the California State Senate in Silicon Valley, in Chicago, from my mentors. I wanted to offer that to our startups in Kolkata. We grew from Kolkata to West Bengal to East India, and now we are all over India with virtually incubated startups, and we are in 9 countries. In fact, so we are very much appreciated by the governments, the state government, the central government, as well as outside governments as well. This is at Rashtrapati Bhavan, a Startup India event. I was literally mentoring 230 startups in a matter of a few hours. And this is Prime Minister Modi sent me, and many of our successful CEOs from India. You can see Ritesh from Oyo, Sugar Cosmetics, and other CEOs we went and created the ecosystem in Kathmandu. And today, Kathmandu has at least 20 to 30 multi-million-dollar startups as a result of the help that they received from the India delegate, the hard work we did, and it's something to be very, very proud of. I love sharing my knowledge. So although I'm not very educated myself, just a bachelor's degree from Illinois Tech, but I teach at MBA colleges, IIMs, Northwestern University, my own university, Illinois Tech, and IITs as well, entrepreneurship and marketing. Love students, so you can always find me in colleges. I think I've been to your college as well in person, pre-pandemic. Yeah, a few other things. I do fund startups. We sponsor college programs, and we want to help young entrepreneurs coming out of colleges. Whatever help they need, we're there for them. I also help the government with policy making, so the laws can be made in such a way that when you graduate, you have an easier life, you have a better life and more prosperous life. And whatever I'm going to share with you today is basically my own experience. It's not Gandhi or Einstein or Steve Jobs. It's my own experience that has worked for me, my 8 businesses, and the 600 plus businesses of Kolkata Ventures incubated startups that have been launched and growing and raising funds and everything. So let's get to it. The first mantra I'm going to give you today is think big, very big, right? Start small, low-hanging fruit, whatever you can start with that. Success is not a jump. Success is like you take a ladder and you take step by step. You move little by little. So start small, grow slowly. You'll make mistakes as you grow. Don't repeat the mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't repeat the mistakes. And then grow really fast when you're an expert. And that's where, you get all the help, you get all the fame, you get all the recognition. But the initial steps are more important. You have that vision and you start at a very minuscule level, and slowly you build yourself to grow fast. Now, in life, you're going to hear this all the time. You'll hear no. People will tell you, nahi yoga, kar nahi sakte. Oh, there is this issue and that flaw and that problem. And it takes a success mindset to take that no to a maybe and a maybe to a yes. Now, I am not talking about man-woman relationship. When a woman says no, it's a no. That's not what I'm talking about. Some that people are like, huh. But I'm talking about life. Like in my case, I deal with a lot of government people. And generally they like to just follow what is there in one piece of paper. So they'll be like, the law says this, the rules are this, we can't do anything about it. And I ask them, okay, what are the exceptions? There must be some way to make it happen. No, there is no other way. Well, if a politician asked you, would you be able to do this? Then they start thinking, they tell me something else. Acha, if so and so says, then maybe. Right? So the point is getting them to think of an answer. Is there a way? Is there a 1% chance of making this happen? So that pushes you from no to maybe, and maybe to yes as another push. But the point is, at least push. When people say no, don't take no for an answer. Try to push back, try to negotiate. Negotiation is a skill that is not only for entrepreneurs, but any successful person learns how to negotiate. It's just like we do at shops, right? We go and see, we negotiate on the prices of pani puri, we negotiate on the prices of things we buy. So negotiation is natural to Indians. That's when Indians are very successful worldwide, because we negotiate. But somewhere we get lost, right? When a boss says something, we don't negotiate. Like, oh, what if I lose my job? So this is fear. You should be careful. Don't negotiate all the time. But we all know in college, professor gives you a little less marks. You negotiate, please sir, a little bit more. 5 marks extra, grace marks, right? All of that helps. It adds up. So in life, always negotiate. When you hear a no, turn it to a maybe and push it to a yes, if that is possible, and if it is not unethical. Here's another lesson for you. Many people are not successful because they fail enough number of times. They let fear hold them back. What does that mean? This is what it means. When you were a kid, जब आप बच्चे थे, you would fall more or walk more. What would you do more? Fall more or walk more? In the chat section. I just want to be interactive here. Yeah, fall more. Exactly. Fall more. That's natural. And eventually be like, walk for a few seconds. Parents are like, oh my God, my child walked for the first time. And again, you're falling. But then you fall less, you walk more, you fall less, you walk more, you fall less, you walk more. And then you walk and talk, you're checking out other girls or guys, and then you're walking and you're like, life is good. That's what success looks like. Success has to be given a chance. So there has to be a lot of failures so that every 10 failures leads to one success. But if you try only once, guess what? You're not giving success a chance. That's important. So my name is Avelo Roy, and I get this annoying question, what does your name mean? So my name has no meaning. It is derived from the middle name of Thomas Alva Edison. And what is Thomas Edison famous for? In the chat section, please. Who knows? What is Thomas Edison famous for? Light bulb. Correct. So light bulb. One day, Thomas Edison was sitting in his room and he was, trying a light bulb, and it exploded. And a friend was sitting and watching this happen. And Thomas Edison wrote down 9,999. His friend asked, what was that? And Thomas Edison said, that's how many times I failed. He said, are you mad? You tried 9,999 times and you failed? He's like, well, I found out 9,999 ways how not to make a light bulb. Somebody's saying, can we have captions? Is it possible to have closed captioning? Is my English so ununderstandable? Should I speak in Hindi? Okay, I'll speak slowly so I'm understandable. So he was asked, it is okay, sir. We can understand you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, still there's a request if you can like mix it a little Hindi.
With Hindi? Delhi always had that request for me. All right. So तो उनके दोस्त ने उनको पूछा कि आप can you why are you crazy? Why would you try this even that you failed so many times? He said, hey, I know how 9,999 ways how not to make a light bulb. I just need one success, and that will change my life, and it did. Now I don't know how true the story is. हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. But the point is, the essence is that in life, if you want to do anything extraordinary, जैसे IAS या joint entrance या CA exam, yeah, being an entrepreneur, being a politician, being a CEO, right? You're doing something extraordinary. तो उसके लिए थोड़ा तो घसीटना पड़ेगा ना. It's not a piece of cake. If it was normal, then normal people would go for it. It's extraordinary. So it requires extraordinary efforts, and you will fail in that because you don't have examples. आपको पता नहीं कैसे होता है. You don't have examples in front of you. So it's important that you try, you get some mentor, and you move forward, and you fail, and you keep trying, and you keep trying till you fail less, succeed more, fail less, succeed more. And that's how life works. So very, very important lesson to understand. If you're trying something extraordinary, expect to fail. Especially if you're building a business, expect to fail, right? Initially. Eventually, you fail less, you succeed more. If you give it a chance, of course. Subtle work. There's another concept. Very, very powerful. For me and for other high-performance individuals that follow this, subtle work basically means when you are not near your computer or phone and you can't be productive, how do you use your brain? So some people are daydreaming, right? Whereas some people, like when I'm in the shower or I'm on a flight or I'm waiting for a flight or, things where I can't be doing anything productive, in my mind, I take some complex problem that I don't have time for. I've been pushing it, lethargy and all that. I take that complex problem and I'm like, let me think about it. Let me break it down. Let me create a bullet list of outline, right? So I'll work on it. So when I reach a computer, is the session not being recorded? I guess it's not. Okay. So when we, I guess, do you guys want me to record it? Team Chaitanya?
Sir, it will be present on YouTube.
Okay, fine. So you guys can watch it on YouTube. Okay, awesome. So where was I? So when you, right. So in your brain, you take that big problem, you break it down into pieces, you create an outline. So when you start working on your computer, whether it's a Word doc or you're writing an email or it's a legal document, whatever it is, you already have done a lot of the preliminary work. Now your fingers are just doing the rest of the work because your brain is already in motion. That's how you make the most use of your time versus wasting it, daydreaming or watching some gossip or, just seeing your Delhi traffic or whatever. I never waste time on all of that stuff. I'm always, I have always more to do than I can do. So whenever there's an opportunity, subtle work and then subtle work to real work. So that's another growth hack. Now, it might not be applicable to college students so much, but when you become a high performance individual, you're doing many things that's beyond the common man's ability. This is a great tool to have. Healthy fear versus unhealthy fear. There's two kinds of fear. You should remember that one fear debilitates us. Matlab, इतना fear होता है कि कुछ काम धंधा होता ही नहीं हमसे. We feel like, oh God, how will I do it? And we either go sleep, we go for alcohol, or we watch Netflix somehow to avoid the obvious thing that we should be doing. So it's important that we have a healthy dose of fear, which makes us think, hey, it's urgent, let's get to work. Deadline is coming up, let's get to work. Healthy fear. Unhealthy fear is like, mere se kuch nahi hoga. Depression, guilt, and moving into just negativity and failing and destroying our lives. So let's understand this a little deeper, because this can take the most intelligent person and destroy them. And if it is done right, then it can take even an average person like myself and take them to a nice, great level of success. Understand what the mind is. According to Bhagavad Gita, the mind is our worst enemy. An uncontrolled mind is our worst enemy. So we suffer more in imagination than in reality. The mind has the ability to magnify something that happened or that could happen. Oh my God, what will happen? I will not pass that exam. As a result, I will not get that internship. As a result, I will not get that job. As a result, my life will be so average and I will not be able to show my face to my neighbors and relatives, right? And we go into this whole thing. Let's take a real example. CCD, Cafe Coffee Day. The CEO, 400 crores in debt. Few years ago, he committed suicide. He drove to a bridge, told his driver to go away, and he jumped off the bridge and died. He thought those 400 crores was it. That was, he couldn't overcome it. It was the big wall that he couldn't overcome. For him, it was over because his prefrontal cortex, when you are stressed out, your prefrontal cortex shuts down and you can't think. Your intelligence shuts down. Only the animalistic brain works, right? So he committed suicide. The guy who had built it from zero to hundreds of crores. A year, Cafe Coffee Day suffered. And then somehow the board got his wife involved. She got on board, started working hard. And today, Cafe Coffee Day has the potential of becoming actually profitable. Could he have done it? Yes. His wife was just a housewife. She didn't know any business, no MBA, nothing. She has come to point, when push comes to shove, she's working through and she's going. Point is, fear decapacitates us. Nahi hoga, nahi ho sakta. Life is over. And that's where, because the mind is the worst enemy, we need to have friends who inspire us. We need to have mentors who inspire us. We need to have the grandmother, the grandfather who we trust, who inspire us, right? Because at that point, when the mind is acting like an enemy, an external force has to uplift us from that. And then you keep going. This is very, very important to understand, that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So when you're fearful, when you're in trouble, focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot control. Focus on what you can control rather than what you cannot control. What do? We blame the government, we blame religion, we blame politics, we blame society. We can't change all of that in one day. We can change it, of course, with effort, but we can't change it now. I have a problem now. What will I do by blaming others? What is in my control? Let me do that part. And that's the best I can do. So at least let me do my best and the rest can follow. And for me, I generally say, let me do my best and Krishna can do the rest, because that's my way of thinking. But you do what you can do in that situation, fearful situation. And then here's what happens. You need to understand, you need to right size your fear. That means, according to statistics, the bell curve, right? If you guys have not studied that, you will study it in college. The bell curve tells you 66% probability that it will not be the best case or the worst case scenario. It will be somewhere in the middle. So you're not in a bad situation. You will be fine. It might not be the best situation, it might be the worst, but you will be somewhere in the middle. So it's not so bad. So right size your fear. Now that you right size your fear, your prefrontal cortex is working again. Think creatively, call a friend, call somebody you trust, get some help, and move forward. Ask this question: is this the worst that can happen? Is there a way to prevent or reduce it? Has anyone else figured out a remedy? If yes, call that person. Get to know that person. At Chaitanya Club, you will meet many such people like that. Your senior students, alumni, professors who have gone through what you're going through. We might think our problem is unique. It's not. Artificial intelligence works because most humans are very, very similar, and we have very similar problems, very similar issues. So what you're going through, trust me, there are others have gone through it. And Chaitanya Club exists to help you through those problems so that you don't have to suffer alone. Please understand that. So take full advantage of this club. They're offering DYS course, Discover Yourself course. Take advantage of that. And these are the things that empower you to become extraordinary. Everybody learns coding in college. Everybody learns the technology in college. But technology and coding makes you just a guy who gets a job and a salary. How do you win corporate politics? How do you win, get the most out of life? How do you negotiate? All of this comes from the soft skills, the soft power. India has soft power over China. China has hard power. It has military, it has money, it has all of that. But the whole world wants India to be superpower, not China. Because people love yoga, people love Indian food, people love the fact that Indians believe in freedom. China believes in censorship, China believes in authoritarianism. So India has higher soft power over China. India is leading G20. India is leading the world. CEOs of most countries, most companies are Indians. Indians are trusted worldwide. I've lived outside India for a very long time. And most doctors are Indians. People trust, he's an Indian doctor, he must be good, right? So we have that soft power over other nations. So soft power is very, very important. Yeah, Twitter CEO was fired because he deserved it. But look at the other CEOs, right? Of course, you'll get fired. Sundar Pichai will also get fired tomorrow. But the point is, Indians are in a very good place. We are trusted. Unlike Russians, unlike Chinese, we are trusted. And there's a reason for it. So in life also, as an individual, learn to have soft power. And that's going to come by these understandings. My great-great-grandmother, Srimati Sarojini Naidu, so you guys know in Delhi, Sarojini Nagar, right? It was named after Srimati Sarojini Naidu. She dared to be different 100 years ago when there was no feminism. You see over here carrying these books. She got a degree from UK. She went to study in the UK. She came back. She joined politics. Her father supported her. She decided to marry somebody she loved, who was not a Bengali. She was Sarojini Chatterjee. She was Bengali. But she was Brahmin. She married somebody who's not a Brahmin and not a Bengali 100 years ago. Our entire family from Dhaka and Kolkata rejected her because she was love marriage. Back in those days were a horrible thing to do. And till 2015, I was not allowed to say that I was related to her. My grandmother passed away in 2015, and only after that, I'm very proud to say that I have the genetics of Sarojini Naidu. But imagine what she did. She overcame her fear of rejection, fear of support from family. Generally, when people come to me and say, sir, I want to start a startup, and my family is not supporting me. I'm like, why do you need family support? If you're above the age of 18, with whatever you do, from 20 years from now, you're not going to blame your family for your failure or success. It's your failure or your success. So don't be like family is not supporting. So what family is not supporting? You want to do something extraordinary, your family is ordinary. They won't understand. They won't support you, and that's okay. They love you. They want you to be safe. But do you want to be extraordinary? Then be the bad son or daughter and do what you need to do. Learn from people who are successful. They are on YouTube. They have their podcasts, people who are actually proven to be, they have their books. Learn from people who are successful. If you learn from your family and they're not very successful, guess what? You'll end up where they are. They don't know any better, so they will only tell you to be Sharma ji ka beta. You want to be Sharma ji ka beta? Go right ahead. You want to be extraordinary? You want to be you, the unique you that God created? Then follow what is best for you rather than what Sharma ji ka beta is doing. Right? So Sarojini Naidu was one such person who dared to be herself 100 years ago, and She was criticized. She was called a terrible woman because she was married, and even then she was, walking with Gandhi and all these great politicians. She didn't care. She did what she did, and today I am so proud of her 4 generations later, right? That's success. I'm talking about it. That's success. I had my little difficulties, right? When I graduated from college, recession happened. 2008, 2009, if you remember. No investor was investing. Here's an article on me and my co-founder, Avelo Roy at Suda, right? Despite economy, college grads set to launch innovative product. When everybody was throwing their startups away and running and getting jobs, me and my co-founder were like, we don't know anything better. All we know is our business, and we went ahead and built it. We were even selling cheese biscuits on the streets of Chicago to just pay our rent, pay our internet bill, electricity bill, phone bill, just to survive. Saturdays we were baking, Sundays we were selling, making 600% profit, and running our tech business from Monday to Friday. So we had our struggles, and eventually we won. We got money, we got fame, and Bhagavad Gita was always walking, helping us walk along. Because when I saw Arjuna's journey, Arjun had this question, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, that's when Arjun kind of breaks down. Chapter 1, Arjun is giving excuses why he doesn't want to fight. Chapter 1, he tells Krishna, my dear Krishna, please tell me what is best for me. I don't know what is best for me. I am completely depressed, broken. Please tell me what is best for me. Become my teacher, don't be my friend. And then Krishna starts speaking the Bhagavad Gita. One of the next lessons is easy choices, hard life. So I have struggled when building my business in college and beyond college. I was going to be homeless. I had 1 month's rent left when I started OMG Biscuits, right? This picture you saw. Bled through my nose. When you live in a cold city like Chicago, the cold air breaks your capillaries, right? I didn't have a car, I didn't have nothing. So running through the streets of cold winter, minus 20 degrees, minus 35 degrees, right? Building my startup, getting my team together, doing all of that hard work, working 18 hours a day. Hard. But as a result of that, today I work only 6 hours a day, and I can afford to give you gyan and not worry about not doing my work. I have a team who can take care of things. I worked hard then, so I have an easier life. It's not easy. There are problems, but easier life. But you make easy choices. Let's be like everybody else. You'll have a hard life. You'll be in a capitalist society. 99% get exploited. 1% are the ones who live the free life. Financial freedom, freedom to make choices, freedom to make India what the future of India should be. That's only 1%. So understand where you want to be. Just look at salary structure. People who get salaries are bound to pay taxes on their salary. But people who do business can pay themselves whatever they want, and they decide how much taxes they pay. The system, the laws, everything is meant for entrepreneurs. I'm not telling you have to be an entrepreneur, but all I'm saying is be part of the 1% so you can change the system, or you can create the future you want to create. You become like everybody else, you will be everybody else, right? So easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easier life. Don't struggle alone. Ask for help. Chaitanya Club is one of those resources, right? When I was in college, I also had a similar club. And later on, I became president of the club and started helping my fellow students, right? So when you need help, ask for help. Don't struggle alone. 5 minutes call with a mentor can change your life. I was going to China to find a manufacturer for my product. I just got on a phone, 5 minutes with a guy named Joe Bourne. He has been manufacturing in China for 40 years. He told me, Avelo, look out for these things, ask these questions, and these are the things they'll cheat you on. So make sure you don't fall in that trap. When I went to China, referred by Texas Instruments, there was, they sent a Mercedes limo. I got out and there was this massive, the CEO of 40,000 employees, and it says, welcome Avelo Roy on LED screen. And he's like, where is Mr. Roy? I'm like, I'm Mr. Roy. And he's like, you're just like my daughter's age. I'm like, well, And he thought like, oh, what happened? Why was a kid here? But then I started asking him questions that Joe taught me. And then he realized this is not a kid. He knows what he's, looking for. He's smart. And he said, Avelo, don't worry. I'll get your product done. We closed the deal and we got an amazing, amazing deal out of it. The point is that 5 minutes with a mentor can save you hours of frustration. So it's important that you take advantage of that in anything you do in life, not just building a startup, but in your project, in your homework, in your finding an internship, writing your resume. Ask for help and you shall receive it. If you don't ask for it, you will not receive it. That's what Arjun did. He asked for help. Krishna started speaking the Gita and he was motivated to fight the war and he won the war. A mentor shows you where to look. You decide what you choose to see. So don't be blind upon a mentor. No one can tell you exactly what to do. They can tell you principles. Like I'm telling you principles. I'm not telling you go right or left, do this or do that. I'm telling you this is what it is like. Here are your options. And you choose what is best for you. Not what is best for Sharma ji ka beta, but what is best for you in the way you're gifted, in the way you're unique. Now in life, you'll always have two choices. One is short term, one is long term. Short term is abhi to kar lete hain, baad mein jo hoga dekha jayega. And the long term is abhi struggle karte hain, so that I can relish in the long term. Now I'll explain this through a story. This king had two ministers. और उन्होंने बताया कि one of you can have $1 million right now, and the other one can choose to have 1 cent doubling every day for the next 30 days. So one minister took $1 million. He was very happy, enjoying on a yacht, going around the world, buying nice things. And the other minister, he was happily waiting, 1 cent doubling every day. 10 days went away, only $5. 20 days, $5,000. Almost month is over. He's still not reached $1 million. But something changed on the last 3 days. 20th day, he crossed 1 million. 30th day, 5 million. So he waited 30 days. He got 5 times more the money. That's how the power of compounding works. Now, we have all done compound interest, right? But in life, this is how it works. You start a YouTube channel, nothing, no views, no subscribers, 1 or 2 views, some friends, their friends, maybe. Suddenly you pick up, wow, what happened? Went viral, right? But you have to keep trying. Most people give up here, right? You start a startup, struggling, nothing's happening. Your friend's buying his first car, they're getting married, you're still struggling along. Your family's calling you, oh, such a loser. फैमिली का नाम बदनाम कर दिया, इतना पढ़ाई करवाया, क्या कर रहा है देखो, right? कुछ नहीं कर पाया लाइफ में, and you're still struggling with your startup, right? Nothing. Boom, suddenly they start seeing you on your story, on newspaper, and boom, life changed. My co-founder had that issue. His father was always bickering. You got full scholarship. You're such a bright architect. What are you doing with this buffoon? He called me a buffoon. Like, इसके साथ क्या कर रहे हो? And my co-founder was an American. And he said, you'll see one day. And one day on Chicago Tribune, full page article on him and I. Massive picture. We went to his office after that, and we saw on his cubicle, he had a cutout of that picture. I was like, now he's proud of us. So that's how life works. Pehle, they'll ridicule you. And if you continue, failing less, succeeding more, eventually the world will salute you. But it takes time for that to happen. It takes little investment every day. Not like weekend, some motivational speech. After that, I feel inspired. Let's do it. No, every day we have to invest for growth to happen. So right choice versus popular choice. Right choice is what is right for you. Popular choice is Sharma ji ka beta. Right choice might take time, like long term might take time, but it is eventually paying. Compound interest, it is mathematics, it works. Short term, look at around you. It's what short-term life looks like. Everybody's going short-term. Invest in yourself. Learn soft skills and hard skills. Develop habits. Manage your time and time wasters. It is okay to waste time, but manage it. Like I will waste only 1 hour, right? So that way, you know how much you want to waste, how much you want to go. Okay, I'll watch Netflix for 1 hour. Fine. Manage it, confine it. Completely, when you say no, mind goes crazy. No, 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 no. How can I do without it? So you confine it, you manage it. So it's in your control and it's not controlling your life. You will fail. That's how it works. But you build as you measure, you learn, and as you go along, you build, you measure, you learn, and slowly, you get better and better. Like the phones, right? Every version of phone gets better features. So they build the phone, they learn from your user experience what you want, what can be done better, right? And they measure it, they build it again, and it gets better and better. So like that, life also is like that, right? Skills you learn and everything, it's like that. The mantra is small changes every day is sustainable. Not like suddenly motivation ho gaya, kar diya, uske baad so gaya. Nahin. Every day, little bit. So set a goal. You want to make $1 million? Great. Let's break it down. How to get to $1 million? Let's break it down further. See, it becomes achievable. You break it down to 12 months, it becomes a lot more achievable. You break it down into weeks, you break it down into days, then it becomes 3 things on your to-do list every day, leading to weekly goal, leading to monthly goal, leading to quarterly goal, leading to your annual goal. And that's how you reach $1 million. Lottery se kuch nahi hota hai, right? Life is not like a lottery. This is how you get to that point. Slowly, trickle down effect. Plan it. It's mathematics, it's logic. You guys are engineers. This is how you should think. Whether you think you can or you think you cannot, you're right. Henry Ford, right? So whatever you tell your mind, it is true. तो अंबानी थोड़ी है, तेरे से नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा, right? You're right. क्यों अंबानी क्यों अकेला करेगा, हम भी करेंगे. Okay, you're also right. See, for me, this is the science of motivation. My belief system is I'm an individual soul, part and parcel of the Supreme, of Krishna. So by inheritance, I have unlimited potential. Okay, so I take massive action. Let's build a big business. Let's build a great project. Let's do something massive, big concert, big event. Okay, massive result comes and my belief system becomes strong. Yes, I can do it. I am part and parcel of the divine. So I have incredible potential, unlimited intelligence, unlimited potential. That is my inheritance. And with that, I keep moving forward. Now, the same belief system can be, I am such a loser. मेरे से कुछ नहीं होगा. Potential is, नहीं है कुछ. I'm very average. Action, चलो करते हैं. Let's see what happens. Result is, पता था नहीं होगा. देखो, belief system, बोला था ना, we are just average. Proved yourself right. Self-fulfilling prophecy. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, O son of Kunti, that means Arjun, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, happiness and sadness, they are like changing seasons. जैसे summer and winter. Summer के बाद winter आता है, winter के बाद summer आता है. For us engineers, let's see it this way. Sinusoidal wave. Happiness, distress. You found an amazing girlfriend or boyfriend, having lots of fun, great. Breakup happens. Breakup, you're thinking life is over, I can't live without this person. No, for a fact, you'll find another person. You lost a lot of money in the stock market? Sure. Okay. You try again, you got something. So life works like that, right? Krishna is saying, happiness, distress, happiness, distress. Nothing is permanent. It's always changing. And it's changing like seasons change, like day, night, summer, winter. So this is the world GDP growth, energy, oil, everything follows the same pattern. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you invest in stock markets, you know this, right? The day Putin attacked Ukraine, very sad day, of course. It was horrible. But for me, I was like, hey, the stock market's going to crash, and I'm ready with my cash. And went all out with it. In 45 days, 65% return on investment. Yay! Because I know for a fact, Krishna says, if it's gone down, it's going to go up. So it's gone down because of the war, and a few weeks later, it's going to go up, and it does. Recession goes down. Corona goes down. Again, it's going to come up because Krishna says so. Bhagavad Gita is true. That's how it works, right? You understand the creator's perspective, you can apply it in your life, and you can prosper. This is the solution key to your life's problems, right? That's Bhagavad Gita to me. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoins, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. But eventually, it's going up. Overall, now it's really, really down. Good time, right? So for people like me who know this, hey, what goes down goes up. Now, of course, there are risky things. Be very careful. I'm not telling you to take high risk. Sometimes things do go down and you have to come up, but that thing might not come up with you, right? But know for a fact that when you go down, you will come up. Whether it's a breakup, whether it's a financial crisis, whether it's a health crisis, whatever it is, you go down, you come up. Happiness, distress, summer, winter, day, night, cyclic order. That's how we are designed. That's how the world is designed. Now, you will be like, bahut gyan de raha hai, right? Our mind, how are we feeding our mind? This is not the knowledge we're feeding our mind. The Bhagavad Gita knowledge is not what we're feeding our mind. We're feeding our mind what? Arnab Goswami. We're feeding our mind all these newspapers and yelling TV anchors telling us, you're going to die. Oh, everything is bad. Oh, everything is wrong. Oh, injustice, this, that, right? They're getting paid to do that. The more fear you have, the more TRP ratings they get, the more money they get from advertisers, the more you watch these channels. So consumers are made to think you're not good enough, things are going to be wrong, go buy this product, go buy this product. So as consumers, we are always earning and burning the money, earning and burning the money in the shopping mall. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy things. You should buy nice things that make you feel good. But creators are even better. You consume to create. You create products, you create services, you create content, you create business, you create an organization, you create a YouTube channel, Instagram Reels, but create for God's sake. Creators have much more power than consumers. You create something that others consume, boy, oh boy, it's a good feeling. It's a great feeling when you create something and others pay you money for it and say, wow, this is so good. I still remember my first customer buying my first product and the smile on her face. Still remember that. It was like being a father, watching your child grow up. So if you don't remember anything from my session today, just remember one thing: create. If you create something, you sell something, you learn so much from it. As today's generation, with the laptop, with the phone, smartphone, with internet connection, there is no reason you cannot create something for free. A digital product, a physical product, or whatever it is. But for that, you need a strong mind, because distractions will come and take you away from your creativity. So just like a video game needs a controller, a car needs brakes and steering wheel, a dog needs a leash, your mind also needs control. And that control can be done with meditation. And again, that's something you'll learn at this Chaitanya Club, where you will learn the art of meditation. Every US CEO I've met have told me they meditate every day. Indian CEOs, karenge, kabhi karte. Some do, some don't, because it's our inheritance, so we don't value it. We are spoiled rich kids. Westerners, they learn from us and they do our yoga, our meditation, our pranayam and all that, and we don't do it. So it's important we meditate so as to control the mind. When we can control the mind, we can take the mind where we want to go. Otherwise, the mind will take us where it wants us to go. Watch, Shah Rukh Khan and watch this and consume that. Versus, no, I want to create something that others will consume and pay me for it. That's what we need to do. So a clear mind, a controlled mind will allow you to decide with a clear vision. So when you see clearly, you can decide better. When everything is blurry, You don't know, I don't know what decision I'm making. You only thing you can do is follow Sharma ji ka beta. Right? So here are some high performing habits of a leader. The first thing is daily meditation. That's where it all begins. If you don't have your software working, your mind working well, nothing else will work, right? You can have a great body, but without the mind, you can't take advantage of it. So make sure your software is focused, targeted, working well, bug free. So daily meditation, daily to-do list. Write down 3 things that will lead to you that goal of whether it's $1 million or feeding 1 million people or getting that internship, getting that job, whatever it is. Every day 3 things on your to-do list, write it down. That will take you slowly but surely towards that goal. Give 100% attention to one thing at a time. We are not good at multitasking. That's not how we have designed. So give 100% attention to one thing at a time. Even if you're dating somebody, right, and you go out with them, when you check out somebody else, they feel neglected. So give full focus, full attention. When you're talking to a person, connect your eyes to their eyes. Give attention, and you will see the reciprocation, the respect that you earn, right? So when you're writing something, give 100%, even 15 minutes. Go for a walk after that. You need a break, fine. But when you do something, give 100% attention. Say no to 99% of the things and say yes to 1%, right? Be selective is what I'm saying. Whether it's clothes, whether it's friendships you select, whether the books you read, the movies you watch, be selective. Don't go with average. Your time is valuable. Your money is valuable. So spend it wisely to things that are the best of the best of the best. Study books, blogs, and get mentorship. And again, that's where Chaitanya Club comes in. They are here to provide you with that stuff. Stay away from negative people, negative gossip. If they gossip about others, they'll gossip about you too. Give back out of gratitude. Make sure, whoever it is. Now, giving doesn't mean you have to give charity, money, toys. Giving back could be just a smile, just appreciation, a thank you. Giving back out of gratitude to your teachers, to your mentors, to your friends, right? Parents. Reward yourself. You start the day with a to-do list. You end the day with a reward for yourself. If you finish the to-do list, reward yourself. That's how you hack lethargy, right? When you feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing it right now, give yourself that reward. Well, if you finish this to-do list, you will get to have that pizza or that cupcake or that movie or something. And if you cannot finish it, punish yourself. Don't give that reward. Not punish, but take that reward away. Tomorrow, try again. If you can do it, you'll get that reward. That way, you train your mind to do what you want to do rather than the mind makes you do what it wants to do. There's a difference between you and the mind. Useful skills, oral and written communication. We Indians suck at it. Our colleges don't teach us this. So when we go for job interviews, we are like struggling, right? We know a lot, but we struggle to communicate clearly. So it's important that you learn oral and written communication, take part in debate clubs, repeat YouTube videos that you like of people who speak well, learn what they're saying, repeat it, record yourself, learn to speak and write better. Coding teaches you logic, whether you can code better or not, but coding is a good thing to learn because it teaches you logical decision making. Designing, if you have design skills, use it to hone that. Use Canva and design your college events and flyers and whatnot, right? It'll teach you something, and that'll be with you always, because in social media, if you know how to design better, you get more attention. And to dikta hai wo bikta hai. Whatever you're selling, whether it's your resume to get a job or whether it's your product or service for your startup, it's important that you understand some elements of design. Project management. Any leadership should learn project management, right? Data and digital marketing. So many YouTube channels you can learn from, so many blogs you can learn from. Money management, learn how to use credit cards, learn how money grows with money, learn how the psychology of money works. There are so many nice books on that. Interpersonal interactions, how to be likable, how to make sure people appreciate you, how to make sure people don't feel offended by you. Interpersonal interactions. Languages, if you can learn more languages than your mother tongue and English, go for it. and be visible on search engine. Know how to use hashtags, be visible on social media. You never know what opportunities are waiting for you, who's searching for you. So be searchable, right? Again, this takes time. You build, you measure, you learn, you will fail initially, but eventually you will succeed more and fail less. Again, small changes every day is sustainable. Don't do a lot one day and then nothing on another day. Every day, 3 things on your to-do list. So do it now, no excuses. Make it a habit to win and power your dream with a deadline. Don't wait for someday something will happen. Make sure you have a deadline for it. That $1 million on such and such date, I'm going to achieve it. Then back calculate, break it down, and have a plan every day. To-do list, 3 things: weekly goal, monthly goal, quarterly goal, and then you reach your goal. I'm here for you. This is my Instagram and my YouTube channel. I have 300 plus videos, 5 minutes long, on startups, spirituality, on life, whatever I have learned from my experience and experience of my amazing mentors. I put them in the form of videos. And if you comment on them, you ask any questions, I try my best to respond to every single one. If you have a private question you want to ask, you can always ask on Instagram, and you can also ask right now. So again, there's a Discover Yourself course that Chaitanya Club is organizing. I highly encourage you take that. You get involved with Chaitanya Club, and when I come to Delhi, I'll see you all in person, hopefully. I'll hand it over to our host.
Thank you so much, sir. And it would be a pleasure to meet you in person for us as well. And thank you so much for such a wonderful session. I've been listening to you, and it's always something new that I learn from the session. Thank you so much. I hope the students also have something learn wonderful today with your session. So, sir, are you available for question and answers?
Yes.
So there are some questions that are ready with us. Would you like me to moderate them?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So Abhishek is asking that he gives up quickly when he doesn't get some results, and this is the worst habit he has. How can how can he improve it? He is consistent for 1 or 2 months, and then he starts to give up. How can he improve it?
Right. It's only natural. So that's why you need to have a plan. Like I said, have the goal, have the plan, and have a mentor. Follow the plan and be accountable to the mentor. If the mentor sees you not following the plan, then they can push you, so that the mind that is misguiding you, taking you somewhere else, is not something you are compelled by. Rather, some external force is putting you back on track, so you keep moving. So we all need a mentor. Even the US president or the Indian prime minister, even CEOs, they have board of advisors who keep these high powerful personalities on track so they don't get distracted. So what to speak of tiny people like ourselves, right? We also need to be on track and move forward. Next
so there
question.
are some questions about Discover Yourself. I would like the audience to please wait. We'll deliver the news about it after this Q&A. And for you, sir, there are 2 or 3 questions about a fear of taking decision and how to overcome it. Like there is no way of going back when a decision has been made. So there's always a fear of taking them. How can we overcome it?
Well, like I said, right size your fear, first of all, so that your prefrontal cortex, your front part of the brain, can think clearly. Breathe in, breathe out, so that clears your thought. Now with focus, think what are the outcomes. Worst that can happen, best that can happen. Middle case scenario is you'll be somewhere in the middle. What would be the outcome of that? Is that something you can live with? Okay, if so, what can you do to minimize the problems? Minimize, confine it, and based on that, make a thoughtful decision, but make a decision. Rather than getting analysis paralysis, make a decision and move on with life so that you don't get stuck. Getting stuck is worse. You keep moving, you're alive. You get stuck, you die.
That's a great thought. Moving on, there's someone who would like to know your opinion on having a master's from abroad.
Depends on your goal. I don't have a master's from abroad. I have a bachelor's degree from my US university, and I was invited by Harvard University, open invitation to get a MBA from Harvard. but I didn't see a reason why I needed to, because I'm already doing business. I'm already teaching MBA level. I know what MBAs know. So I didn't waste 2 years of my life. So for that was for me. But in case for you, you want high paying job and you want to have that, US tag, it's absolutely worth it to get just make sure it's a good university, not a simple university, but go for the best and the brightest universities, so that brand carries with you throughout your life.
Thank you. Moving on. Somebody feels very awkward while talking in person. It's chill to talk in social media, but if in person it's awkward. How to be more comfortable with people?
Do more of that. Do more awkward talking. I am an introvert myself. I could never speak in public. I would like literally sweat and my heart would pound. I could see my chest moving. That was who I used to be. I did more and more and more and more of that. And I had a gun to my head. I had to make my startup a success story. Otherwise, I wouldn't survive. I was not a good student. I couldn't get a normal job. So for my startup to be successful, I had to pitch to investors to get funding to survive. So I got out of my comfort zone because I had a gun to my head. Correct. So the point is, make yourself uncomfortable, and that will be your comfort zone again, and you become better at what you thought was impossible. I've done 500 speaking engagements. Imagine that. Being a complete introvert who was scared of talking to even his roommate. I was that bad. Not anymore, by God's grace.
So you have talked a lot about having a mentor in your life. So how to find a perfect mentor for very ambitious goals?
It's never perfect, but you find a mentor find somebody who is where you want to be and who has been where you are today, right? So if you are starting from zero, find somebody who started from zero and has reached that goal that you want to achieve. You can find them on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You approach 10, 20 of them. Maybe 5 will respond. And after 5, one might give you a 5-minute time. And if you are nice enough, they might give you 15 minutes. And if you show results, they might do that on a monthly basis, guide you through it, right? So that's how it works. Find somebody who is successful in the way you want to be successful. Talk to somebody who looks like your future.
So someone wants to do blogging, and also pursue a career in coding. So how to find what is best for us and what is the best interest for oneself?
Try both. See which one works out better. You have nothing to lose. You're only a teenager now. So try both and see what makes you feel good. And the answer will be very clear.
So who shall we disclose our goals to? Should we share our goals with our close ones?
Close ones are there, but somebody who is where you want to be, and that's the mentor I'm talking about. Sharing it with that kind of a person would be always beneficial because they can right size it for you, versus somebody who is not there or doesn't see the vision that you have. They will discourage you. Pagal ho gaya kya? This, just do what everybody else said, be safe, right? All of that will happen. So don't expect to be understood by ordinary people if you have extraordinary goals.
So it's a very interesting question. When we self-learn a skill, we are not very, and we are not learning it from any source. So we are very underconfident about it, and we lack the confidence to display it in public. So how to get over the same and know how people decode this thing?
I have always given myself projects. When the pandemic happened, before that, I fired at least 6 digital marketing companies, hired and fired because it was horrible. So March, 2020 pandemic happened, and then April, I gave myself a project. I said, Avelo, why don't you learn digital marketing? Why don't you invest 1 lakh and make it into 3 lakhs in 30 days? So I gave myself a goal. Now I could have given myself, if you're a college student, I would have given myself 500 rupees, make it into 1500 rupees. That also is okay. But I gave myself 1 lakh to 3 lakhs. I'll invest 1 lakh in marketing and I'll sell something worth 3 lakhs. Can I do it? I learned all the blogs and vlogs and everything else that is possible. Self-learning is not out of source. It's somebody's source that I'm learning from. So with that, I started experimenting, learning, made some mistakes, but found my way through, and I was able to reach that goal. Took me 45 days, and boom, I was like, now I know what kind of digital marketer I need. And I started hiring the right kind of digital marketers because I now know how to do digital marketing. Same thing with some technology I was learning. I was building a product and I wanted to learn the technology. So I gave myself a project, a small project, and I built it around it. And I learned, this is how it works. By doing it and making it into a project, you understand a lot more than analysis paralysis.
That's interesting to know. So when we take a decision and the results come out to be negative, so our belief system is somewhat changed because of that negative result. So at that moment, how can we keep going on?
That's why I said get a mentor, get a friend, somebody who inspires you. I have that situation even now. And I call up my best friend and he will remind me of something that I already know, right? But I needed to hear from him because my mind, my worst enemy, is making me think I'm a loser. I can't get over this problem. And I needed a friend to remind me, yes, this is possible. Awesome. Let's keep going. So friends and mentors is a very, very important. We are social beings, I'll tell something that is coming from a scientist. He said, in an island, if you leave an ape and a human being, the ape will survive, the human being will not survive, or less likely to survive. But if you have a group of human beings and a group of apes, humans will survive because we are social beings. We know how to be interdependent on each other. We know how to communicate with each other. We know how to form teams and work as a team. And that's why we are better than animals. There's a lot of reasons why we're better than animals, but that really struck a chord with me. So that's what we have to be interdependent. We can't be just our own in a little silo. Build friendships, mentors who can support us and guide us when we are down. They pick us up, and when they are down, you pick them up.
So Soumya wants to know something personal about you. That are you superstitious in your life or in your career?
Yeah, there are a couple of superstitions.
Okay. Moving on. Somebody is asking how to handle the emotions. The emotions he's not able to. Emotions overpower him basically. So how to overcome this situation?
Write it down. Right? Write down what your thoughts are. Like I said, can I control it? What is in my control? What is the worst that can happen? Has it happened to anybody else and they have fixed it? Write it down. When you write things down, the brain acts differently, and you see your writing, and the feedback mechanism helps you think in clarity. And of course, talk to an expert, somebody who's gone through that situation, and again, they can give you more insights into how to get over it.
So somebody wants to know your views on a business idea. I hope it's on YouTube. So if it's good or bad, he has to act on it quickly, or somebody else may act on it. So the idea is that he wants to make a platform where you can choose a plant and pay for it, and they'll plant this plant at your location. So when the plant will grow and the revenue starts to come, they'll share it with you from that plantation. So what are your views on this?
How do you scale that up? I mean, it's okay as a business, but scalability is a problem. Does something like that exist? I don't know. I've not heard of it. But I'd rather, if I were you, I would just be like, ship plants, build an e-commerce platform for shipping plants. Not much competition there yet. So just my suggestion. Always think scalability. Like you start a startup, okay, you're building something, you buy something, you sell something. But then it should be a system where you're not even involved and the process just grows and scales itself up. There's a formula called business model, right, that makes money on its own. So always think, is it scalable or is it not? If you don't know what that is, Google it. All right. Next.
So we'll take the last question for the day. That how you break down any challenging situation. Can you give us an example from your life?
Sure. Um, let's give me a challenging situation.
Somebody can in comments can give us challenging.
Why don't you give me a challenging situation?
Challenging situation. Like I was thinking like what the question one who's asking the question was.
Okay, let's make up a challenging situation. I'll tell you something happened. I was at NIT Rourkela recently, right? So I use a Mac, and somehow the presentation I had made specifically for them, that presentation vanished from my computer. I was searching, I was not able to find it. For 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I was looking everywhere and it was not there. I'm like, how is it possible? And there were 1,200 students waiting to listen to me. And I'm like, oh God, what do I do now? Then I breathed. Okay, what's in my control? The laptop. Are there similar presentations? Yes. So looked at similar presentations, found a presentation. I said, can I use it and morph it with the given topic? I said, I think I can do that. Opened up my laptop, connected it, used that other PowerPoint and morphed it for this topic and just got out of it. Everybody clapped. Nobody got to know what was happening. Actually, I did tell them that this happened. But that's one way. There's a difficulty. It's not working. And then you kind of take a step back and like, okay, now what? What is in my control? What can I do? This is what I can do. This is the best bargain for the situation. So let's make it happen. It's not the best case scenario. It's not the worst case scenario. It's somewhere in the middle. Right size your fear. Make sense?
It does to me. And I am pretty sure students have great time and they learn so much from a session. Thank you once again. It's an honor for us, Team Chaitanya, to host you. And thank you for accepting a request every time.
Most welcome. And if there's any other question, I see there are 33 more questions. So just connect with me on Instagram and ask me there, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I'll take your leave.
So that's all from Avelo sir. I hope everyone has had a great time in it. And there's a last announcement for the day, and then we'll wind up this session. We are already over time. So last announcement for the day is somebody would be posting a link in the chat sections in the YouTube and here as well to register for the DYS course that Avelo sir has been talking about. It's a very powerful course and it's been catered to boil down to your needs and very specific to student life, how to overcome your fears, and it's based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, how Bhagavad Gita's teachings are still relevant in today's life. We have break it down into some smaller sections, and it can be your start to this Bhagavad Gita, and you can take lessons from Bhagavad Gita and be a powerful individual, a powerful high performance individual, as sir has talked about. So all of those who are interested, please register into that, and let me share my screen to flash the QR code. You can scan it. Somebody has put the link also in the chat section. You can click on that and register it. If your friends are interested, we are most welcome to host. Like sir said, that Chaitanya Club is here to help all of you. So I'll just say, just give it a shot and attend the first 3 sessions, first 2 sessions, and see if we are offering something that's valuable to you. Just give it a shot and please come to us. We are happy to help you here. Anybody has any questions related to the DYS course or something, I will be here for next 2 minutes. And most important thing, this registrations will be open for next 2 days. So if you want to register, please register now. If your friends are also interested, somebody, please send them the link. We are happy to host, we are happy to help, and make sure you have done your part. Your registrations first, as in it's said in airport now, first help yourself. So register yourself first and then ask your friends to register as well. It's only open for 2 days. The course has been starting next week, so please don't delay. We'll make sure that the timeline of the course is on track. Right?
Sorry to interrupt, Soumya. So there are like few repeating questions and some questions no like that will be like automatically answered in the Discover Yourself course. So just don't worry, fill the form and we'll take care of that. And there is just one last question to like explain little more about the Discover Yourself.
Yeah, sure. So this Discover Yourself course is based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. That's it. It would be a 5 or 6 session course, I guess, and it would be based upon how to implement those principles that this session was all about, and how Bhagavad Gita is still relevant to us in your personal life. That would be all the course about. If you want to be a part of Team Chaitanya, this is your entry point. If you register for this course, you are all automatically has done the first step in being a part of Team Chaitanya. That's what all the course is going to be. Does this answer your question? Does it give you clarity? I am not able to see the comment section because my screen is sharing, I guess. All right, guys. So we'll be here for 2 or 3 minutes more. You can.
Okay, so there's somebody is asking for certificate. So we have recorded your attendance. I think let me confirm, and we will like distribute the certificates. So don't need to worry about that.
Great. So it's 8:43, and so Team Chaitanya has the attendance. Congratulations, you'll get your certificates. It's 8:43. We'll be here for next 2 minutes, and 8:45 we'll wind up. Please, take a screenshot of this QR code or copy that link in all these comments. It's you can post it again. Yeah, great. All right, and we are happy to host you guys. We are happy to help you. So if you become a part of this course, Priyanshu is asking that how can we join Team Chaitanya. So if you become a part of this course, we automatically have your details, and you are pretty much a part of Team Chaitanya after registering for this course. It will be starting next week, and the deadline is for next 2 days. After that, the form will close. Thank you so much, Kanushi, if I am pronouncing it right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We are happy to help. We'll be closing the session in 1 minute. All right, guys. So thank you for the evening. I hope we added value in your life. And if you want to meet us in public, we're happy to host. Please register for this course. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll just leave and request Team Chaitanya to take over and close this session. All right. Thank you guys for attending us. Have a great evening. Thank you.